What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy, Sean Spencer, one half of that dynamic duo that is Let's Talk Football. And don't adjust your screen, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, it's me. It's me. I am back on the round table where it started years and years ago, and I am so happy. But I am with some great people. Shout out to the Bears fans. I know they saw the commander coming, so they got a little nervous. Ha! You know where I feel. You know how I feel.
Someone's right, I run this ship today.
I run this. Let's go. But you see who's with me.
Just go ahead and strap in. It's gonna be a long show.
Let's go. You see with my guy straight from Oklahoma, Mr. Anthony Handy. What up, Anthony?
Hey, what's going on, man? You almost stole my line. You had to reel that in.
You see that?
Yeah, I caught
that. To steal your line.
First, you tried to steal my line. Then you forgot where I was from. Wanted to say I was from Oakland. Like, what the hell? Straight out of Oaktown. Here comes a hammer. Can't touch this. Anyway, hey, I'm doing well. The medications are working nicely, and the doctor said I should be seeing some really good results in a couple of weeks when I even out. I'm playing though. That's no joke. Seriously, serious note before we get into what we get into. I know I'm joking, but if that's something that you got going on, please, by all means, make sure you stay on your regimen. And if you got somebody that's a source of support, good on you. This is because I'm back. I'm sorry. I had to say my piece, but doing well. It's been a crazy busy week. Looking forward to this. I look forward to this Monday and Tuesday every single week, and here we are yet again. Oh, by the way, I have recently been placed in charge of garbage, but we are on a budget, so we are using the paper bags instead of the trash can. But if you have anything that requires disposal, I would be more than happy to take it away from you. Are we going to talk about the game where they kicked the oblong sphere through the big H?
We are. I think we might be.
Oh, very good. This will be a most gripping show indeed. Yes. I got so excited I knocked over my beverage.
That boy good.
So far, you've knocked over an entire meal. First it was steak. Now it's your beverage.
Exactly.
Y'all don't know how mad I was about that steak and potato, boy. That thing was good.
He turned over and looked at it and said, "Oh, snap." Live on the show. But look, we're not alone. We got to get somebody that reins it back in for us. Our
really
host of Mile High Minute, Tina Winter. What up, Tina?
Welcome, everyone. Apologize if I snort. Seriously. Okay. All right. I'm crying. I'm laughing.
I usually find that if you read through a paper bag, that it helps.
Then I might pass out, and then you're on your own. So we can't have that. Who knows what would happen then? Hi, everyone.
Let's go.
All right.
It is exciting to be here, my guy. I let you say it first, but it's still exciting for me as well. It's been a while.
I should do the entire show in this accent, but then I do not know.
Yo, hey, we got people in the comments. What is going on, Kate? What's going on, Johnny? Saying you're watching, you're here. Well, you are here, and you are just in time because, I don't know, the show always starts off with coin toss. Yeah, buddy. So, look, we got to start off this show with a couple of topics that came across our mind. And since, Anthony, you started it off great, hey, let's keep it going. I see the jersey. I'm loving it. Falcons.
This is the throwback Matty Ice right here, baby.
I love that. And we got to ask this right now. I mean, obviously the Panthers are having a tumultuous season. And the Saints have also been struggling. And recently, yesterday, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers got it and lost. Now, I know you guys were not successful this week, but overall, you guys are looking good. And with the injuries, I think we got to ask this question: Are the Falcons the favorites to win the South, man?
I'm going to answer your question, and then I'm going to throw the accent away. The Panthers have been stripped of the hot shape. The Saints will not go marching in because they canceled all the funding for the band, and And the bucks are only worth $3. The bucks are only worth about 25 cents these days. So it is safe to say that the Falcons are the class right now. And anyone else who thinks that they are not is Delulu. Okay, I'm done. Real talk though, I even though you can't win every game. I mean, the only team that's been able to do that and win the championship is the 72 Dolphins.
Mm-hmm.
So far, there was one team to do it in all these years of in the Super Bowl era anyway. So I really could not be happier with the way the Falcons are performing in opposition to, I mean, come on, bro. I'm still salty at you for trying to goad me into saying that Marcus Mariota or Desmond Ridder was going to be any kind of savior of that franchise.
I'm sorry.
I'm just saying.
Sorry.
I'm just saying.
But technically, they were because they played so bad that it allows you to get the money to get Kirk Cousins.
Come on, man. That's just like people talking about Herschel Walker. Herschel Walker built the Dallas Cowboys dynasty. He didn't do nothing but show up, and they traded him away. Yes, the trade led to other things, but Herschel didn't help do nothing.
It's the steps.
Yeah, okay. The 5 steps. Ooh, child. Anyway, I'm back. The Falcons have been doing
easier.
Oh Lord, we just started.
Let's go.
Boardwalk.
Okay, I know we're doing 90s R&B now.
Yeah, but the point that I'm trying to make is that right now this is unfamiliar territory for the Falcons for some time. We're 7-8 weeks into the season with a winning record and leading the division. I mean, we literally, wow, I didn't even think about it when I put this jersey on. We haven't done that since this guy used to suit up for us.
Mm-hmm.
So, just looking down the road at games coming up, it looks like we have the potential, barring, God forbid, injuries or any other level of craziness. Somebody be like, man, I didn't even know that my peanut butter and jelly supplement had some stuff in it that I was maybe not supposed to have used. And then all of a sudden I was faster, stronger. I just thought it was because I was lifting weights. It's just like old boy said, you can't just sit there and tell me Barry Bonds ain't juicing when, I'm just saying, when you got to buy your hats, you got to go to Pottery Barn to buy your hats. You might want to lower the dosage. Anyway.
Yeah, he just blew up. It's like, really? Yeah, man.
Him and Mark.
Yep. Come on.
Yeah. Nope, Senator, I'm not on drugs. Okay, we're going to reel that in. Anyway, the point that I'm making is that at this point, the Falcons are doing better than they have in a long time. And as a Falcons fan, while realistically speaking, anybody can win the Super Bowl. You know what? I'm going to take that back, because if Eli Manning could backdoor his way into the playoffs on a wild card and beat the undefeated, no, they weren't undefeated. I think they had lost one game. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who had only lost one game all season and was beating people and taking people's lunch money, then the Falcons can do it too. But I'm just happy with what they put on the field so far. It actually shows they're starting to gel. They're starting to play as a team. They're looking more like a team of football players versus a collective group of individuals on the field, which I love. And that's all I got to say. I could say more, but about 8 more personalities would come out, and then Tina would snot some drink out of her nose, and then we'd have to go to break. So
screw a corner office. I wouldn't be able to do it.
But I mean, to that point, Tina, and we know how good the Falcons are playing, but the other teams on that list, like I talked about, are struggling. So this is prime time. And the Falcons and Tampa Bay are both 4-3. So this game Sunday is for the division. But with injuries, shout out to Christopher Cole, what's going on? Godwin tackle was a hip drop tackle, but ESPN didn't show it again. The injuries in Tampa, I would have said they were the favorites, but with these injuries, I can't say that, man. What do you think, Tina?
I think it's going to be difficult for Tampa Bay. I mean, Bucky Irving is doing things that he's carving up defenses like nobody's business. And I think the other guy's name is White. I think his name is. White. So, I mean, their running game is there. And I only know this guy's name because I picked him up on a whim through fantasy football. Cole Otten is now starting to get TD passes from Baker Mayfield. So I do think the Bucs may have a harder haul But right now, yeah, if as long as the Falcons don't do anything crazy to have a tire blow or take it off the bus, they probably can. They would be able to make themselves into the playoffs as the number one in the AFC South. The Saints are just. I hate to say it, the Saints did. The Saints kept falling.
I don't know what happened there.
Thursday. Like they lost a lot of people.
Told you they got tired of marching.
They stopped marching for sure. The Bucs stopped.
Now, in my opinion, it was because there was a huge stampede through the Metrodome for my Broncos.
Come on.
But to each his own fun.
Yo, shout out to Johnny D. Johnny said, how good did the Falcons play this week? Yes, Johnny, they did take the L, but can you really talk, Johnny? Didn't you guys just take the L yesterday too? Ooh, both teams are going to be interesting. Sean Tucker, we'll see what he can do. Look, as of right now, I will always shout out Atlanta. I've always harped on the fact that I think you guys are that sleeper team that can always
they've been sleeping for a long time.
Hey, you guys have been to the Super Bowl since much sooner than we have. I mean, 92 is a long time, my friend. Long time for Washington. You guys were 2018, right?
That's correct.
Yeah. So,
Super Bowl 51, I will never forget it.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I didn't say any scores. So, look. But I think Kirk Cousins elevates y'all's team. We already know Bijan. We already know your tight end, Drake.
I like that. That's the spicy mustard. I like that. That goes good with kielbasas.
It's tasty. It's tasty.
It's very tasty.
Johnny Dean said, I hate Sean Payton. Sorry, Tina. Tina, not too fond of him either. But look, right now, I think they are definitely the favorites to win the South. And they got to win these divisional games. But if they can, I think the road's in front of them. So we'll see if they can keep it up and keep going. Speaking of teams that need to pull it together, we got to talk about this. Tua is back at practice and will likely play this week, but said that he's not going to wear the Guardian cap on his helmet during the game. That is the cap that the NFL has made to try to prevent head injuries, concussions, things of that nature. Tina, I'm going to come to you first. First and foremost, Tina, I didn't even want this man to play another snap because I think he needs to go ahead and retire. But now with him saying he's not doing this, I don't know who has the head injury, the team or the quarterback. Talk to me about this, Tina.
I think we got a young buck who wants to make his bones and everything in playing football, and he doesn't want anybody to say that he's taking any kind of help that would make that he's not playing football like a guy should play like a football. Now, there's competing medical evidence on whether the helmets actually help or not. The NFL goes to the stats that show that they have had a 50% reduction in concussions because of this stat, because of the Guardian helmets and the various helmets, the Guardian cap and the various helmets that they've come up with. The other stat that a lot of people go to is that you don't get a concussion because of the helmet. You get a concussion because you have a force that hits your head that your brain starts bouncing around in your cranium. So it's not the helmet that's causing the injury. It's just that the helmet can stop some of that force from happening because it's bigger, it's got more padding, etc. So that's where a lot of people are on this. I'm on the side of this is a 24-year-old man who better be saving every penny he makes and investing everything he needs. And maybe you might need to downsize from a $30 million house to a $15 million house.
Come on now.
Because if you get hit again, dude, you might be a vegetable in a hospital, is my thought on this.
Yeah.
And as is my thought, he's taking his leg, and he has every right to do it. If that's what he wants to do, he can do it. I just think it's stupid. And I personally would like to be a fly on the wall and get his girlfriend, is he married? His wife's opinion on this issue. Because I think there'd be a very different response.
Yeah, because I don't think they're thinking of the future. Look, we got people in the comments. Nicole saying bobblehead. They need a whole neck brace for him. Johnny said that the
Hans
helmet.
device.
Yeah, Johnny said the helmet that Tua wears is better for him than the Guardian cap. It was specifically made for him last year, and I think this is what goes to Tina's point. You can put whatever you want on his head, but you can't stop the force of the guy that's coming at him full tilt 100%.
It'll reduce the force a little bit, but it's
Right.
not going to. And let's also be honest about this. He already has CTE. He's already gotten it.
Yeah.
It's just not manifesting itself right now
Mm-hmm.
because it hasn't. Because that's what's happening is it's over years that this has been going on. Once you have those concussions, you don't get everything back. Like your brain doesn't magically rewire itself.
Mm-mm.
So he's already going to have problems later in life. It's just not showing it now, so he thinks he doesn't have to. And I agree. Yeah, the cap he has, that's a great cap. Okay, fine.
Gotta think about the future. You got to think about the future. And Anthony, I'm bringing this to you, and I'm going to come a little differently. We've seen what this guy did in college. Comes off the bench and he's a Superman. He's a hero. He does all this. We've seen how he got drafted and went to Miami. He's gotten all this money. He's been one of the elite quarterbacks. What else do you have to prove? I mean, I get you want to continue to play. I get the money's good, but I get the ring. I get all that. But
that's about it.
I mean, but you and I'm gonna bring this to boxing. We all saw Ali through. I didn't see him through his career, but
for most
later
of it,
years,
yeah.
Right.
I mean, he was.
I don't want that for Tua.
He was a shell of himself. I mean, the personality. We all know Muhammad Ali's personality. You brought that up. I mean, Muhammad Ali was larger than life. He used to come out and make up his own poems on the spot. You know, and then handcuff lightning and thrown thunder in jail. You know, I'm so mean. I make medicine. I'm so fast. I go in the bedroom, I cut the light out. I'm under the covers before the room get dark. You know what I'm saying? I'm so mean, I make medicine sick. And then at the end, all he could do was look at you and smile. And he went way too long. He went way too hard for way too long. And that is what Tua is setting himself up for. He's honestly, I'm gonna be honest, with the damage that he's already had, one more good hit is gonna do it. I could be wrong because he's young, but we've seen it, and it doesn't take much because it didn't look like he got hit that hard this last time.
No.
I think, I mean, if he's going to play, again, he's an adult. He can do as he wishes, I guess. But if he's going to play, he probably needs to just have the Dolphins put him on IR for the remainder of the season and relax. You got money. You got a fan. You got to, he Tongan. He got to have about 800 family members. Take them all to Disney World or something like that. Y'all go on a vacation, go on a cruise, do something else. And then while you're doing that, do things that stimulate your brain, crossword puzzles and the jigsaw puzzles and reading and things of that nature, because that kind of stuff does stimulate your brain, believe it or not. I actually find that as I have played the piano less, some of my cognitive skills have started to dull. So I got to take that back up. Take up something else other than football. Football is not the be all end all. Everybody thought they were going to be the one to play 100 million years and win all the championships and make all the money. Earl Campbell was the baddest man on the gridiron when he padded up, and he can barely walk right now. Yep. The Fridge can barely walk right now. Tony Dorsett got the shakes. Some of those old guys, Howie Long ain't much older than me. I think he's but a couple years older than me. He talked very candidly about how he has to take a cocktail of pills every morning just to get out of bed.
Yeah.
Just to not be in pain when he gets out of bed.
Yeah.
Let alone function for an entire day sitting behind the desk. You understand what I'm saying? So he's got to figure something out. And I mean, honestly, maybe they don't want to be the ones that set the precedence, but maybe the Dolphins have to be the one to do it. Maybe the front, and maybe it would do some good, and maybe restore some, because the players in the front office is always beef to extend some, so garner some goodwill with the players. If the Dolphins say, "Hey, you need to sit down,"
right?
You know what? I don't know what the deal is with his contract. I mean, I know a lot of it's guaranteed. They said, look, you got your guaranteed money. We're not going to deny you your guaranteed money. Go sit down, take a rest, come back and see us next season. You don't have to put your foot on the facility nowhere. Just go relax, because your health means more to us than the jersey sales that you go get. Because the game when he comes back, everybody's going to be watching. Every Dolphins fan is going to be. They're going to want to say they were there. Whether they were there to see him have a great game, or whether they were like, oh my God, I was there and he got hit again. You feel me? The Dolphins are going to make that money off of that. If they make him sit down, that would be something groundbreaking.
Oh yeah, and that's
we're going to talk about this in my segment.
Yeah.
But the Dolphins cannot do that. Once a player is cleared medically, if the team does not play him or forcibly retires him, he gets every bit of the money on guaranteed money under his contract at that point.
Wow.
Well, shit, they guaranteed it anyway. Doesn't that what the word guarantee means?
But it's not guaranteed until like that year hits. I'm saying the rest of the guaranteed money under the remainder of his contract.
Oh, wow.
So let's say he's guaranteed $35 million for the next 3 years. He gets $120 million. And that goes on their cap.
That should
pay. We'll talk about this when it comes to the talk.
Wait a minute. Hold on. I'm not fussing with you. So I just want to make sure I'm understanding this. So the owner of the Miami Dolphins is worth what is it? Billions of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
Billions of dollars. $125 million to a billionaire is maybe like me spending 100, maybe a couple hundred. I may have the zeros in the wrong place.
I'm not saying he can't afford it. What I'm saying is that guaranteed money now becomes a cap hit.
The cap is a lie.
It is a lie. However, it is there. And if you have to take a $35 million cap hit every year for the next 4 years, believe me, I understand this from what we took the hit with Mr. Old Man this year. I mean, his money, what he makes, he has other businesses other than just the Miami Dolphins.
Here's my thing. And I don't know. Maybe I'm too cool. Maybe there's some parts of me. I like to describe myself as one part fight the power and one part kumbaya, with a whole lot of Cat Williams mixed in the middle somewhere.
A whole lot.
Shut up. Yeah. And nobody asking for your opinion. See, get me started. But you told the man you was gonna pay him the money. Pay him the damn money and just say, look, son, just go sit down somewhere and go have a good life. They're gonna make that money back 8 ways from Sunday anyway. And I understand cap hits and all that crap. And I understand from a business standpoint somewhere it doesn't make any sense. But as much as people right now are struggling to put 2 nickels together to put gas in their car, you think I give 2 rats patoots? I had to catch myself. 2 rats patoots about a billionaire crying about having to pay somebody he promised some money to and guaranteed it to, the money he owes him, because the sport that he said he was going to come play for him jacked his brain up.
Part of the reason why they're billionaires is because they are pinching pennies and they are saying, what do I get from this? If he's not going to give me the return on this, I got an issue. If I can't sell, because he's more valuable on the field. Like you said, Handy, him selling the jerseys, him doing public appearances. They don't care if this man can walk, as long as they can sit him in a chair and sign autographs, sit him in a chair and do the same thing we're doing, talk on these podcasts and stuff. It's that return that they're getting. That's what they want.
I feel you. I
agree that he should not be there.
100% agree. He should not be doing it. But if I was the owner of the Dolphins, I'd be making him sign something that says, at this point, you've chosen to go on when you've been medically cleared and we've talked about all this stuff. You say you're going to go ahead and do it and you're not going to wear a guardian cap. I want you to sign this that said that if you get injured this year,
it's on you. Yeah,
it's not on us.
Yeah,
but That's not going to happen.
But and then too at this point, like you said, it is about the CBA. But then too, somebody could come back and argue, well, he's been concussed 4 times already. Maybe he wasn't necessarily acting while he was 100% in his right mind. You understand what I'm saying? So it's not going to be it's just a pisser. It's all over. I mean,
it's terrible.
I get it. I'm gonna shut up because I could argue this all day, and I'm not.
Well, we can argue it again. We can talk about it again in about 10 minutes.
But this is, and I'm glad we did this because this is definitely a good topic to have because a lot of people are all both sides of the fence on it. And to me, what really scared me about him is the last 2 times he's got hit. You got the one against the Dolphins and then the one against Buffalo. He had the hands that froze.
The fencing position.
And then he had the one against Buffalo where it looked like he's trying to reach out and just kind of he looks like he's lost. And that is the body reacting to what's happening. And to your point, Handy, even that hit against Hamlin against Buffalo, it wasn't a helmet to helmet. It almost looked like he kind of came in that way, but he's already rattled here.
Right. So all it's going to take is one good. It could be somebody tackling him from wrapping him around the waist, and he hits his shoulder too hard. And it
can happen in practice.
They can headbutt him, and then it's over.
Yeah. I mean, he's a sugar figure at this point, is what I would call him. You have sugar, you do it in the ice and everything, and you come out, and you barely tap it, and it just all crackles and breaks. Like, to me, he's a sugar figure. So he has the right to do what he wants to do. All right.
I hope he can get better. We got some people in the comments. Kyle Yacey said, "I'm here. Time for a Bucks sweep." Let's get it. Nicole said maybe he's waiting on future technology. She said he needs to open up a business, but instead of Under Armour, it could be No Armor. Kyle said Captain Kirk leading us to the promised land. Kyle, you came in too late, man. We talked about the Falcons first, buddy. All right, and we got one more topic in the coin toss, and I will start with this. I don't know if y'all saw the Jets and the Steelers game, but those guys, in my opinion, looked their age. And not just the gray hair that you see, not just the fact that every time you're on the sidelines, Aaron Rodgers.
Watch your mouth.
You look distinguished. They looked old.
There you go. Yeah, you're not playing NFL football out there and throwing passes into the dirt and everything. And look, I'll agree. Russell seemed to get it together in the second half. Maybe that was a little rust. But
who is he playing again?
No. I tell you what happened. His wife sent him some very nice pictures to his cell phone during halftime, and he was like, "Hey, coach, I'm ready to go. Let's go.
Let's do it."
White said if we get a running clock halfway through the fourth quarter, I get cookies when I get home. Run the clock.
So Handy, they both looked. I mean, more Rodgers than Wilson, but they both just didn't look. They looked like a shell of themselves. Is it easy to say maybe this is it right to say maybe this is their time? Maybe they've played more football than they should?
More than likely, yeah. I mean, dude, I was still exceptionally active in my 40s. I'm in my 50s now, but I was exceptionally active in my 40s. We were still doing Turkey Bowl and getting together on Thanksgiving and knocking heads. And I was still playing softball with the Fairfax County softball leagues. And I mean, the stuff you see me do now that you saw me do when I was out at karaoke, that was just a little bit. I mean, dude, I used to jump around the room all night. And I'm talking about in my 40s. But that ain't nothing on what I was doing in my 20s. You feel me? Like a football player that I like very much that happened to me and may not have attended the school at the same time I did. The saying goes, my granny used to have a saying, boy, it was hell when I was well. You come on here, somebody.
Oh yeah.
Look, especially, I mean, step practice, pledging the fraternity, running back. I mean, dude, I used to get up 6 o'clock in the morning, ride on campus, have classes, run and have play sessions all night. If I had to dip out and go to work, I'd run and go to work, come back to play session, be a play session till 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, run back, shower. Oh, time to go to class. Do that 5, 6, 7 days a week, and still had energy, still had energy for other extracurricular activities.
Get down.
Nah, man. Pick up basketball and go into the club. Shut up.
Oh, okay. To get down.
That's to do something. That's to do something before do something. That was, but by the, I was with the first wife then. Man. We were dating then. I wasn't chasing nothing like that. But anyway, and so yeah, you get over 40, there's a difference. There's a big difference. There's a big difference now with me at 50. I was standing up I'm 54 years old right now. I was standing up in the middle of the floor in the break room talking to somebody at work yesterday, and my back said, I want to sit down. I said, I'm standing up right now. No, my back said, no, you go sit down. I said, no, I'm gonna grab this wall and stand here and play till you get better. And we had a standoff. Me and my back had a standoff at 11 o'clock in the morning yesterday in the break room at work.
I know who won.
Me. Because I'm stubborn.
Look, Handy, they in the comments.
And I had some flex reel in my bag. So anyway,
see, there it is. That's what it is. They in the comments. Look, Kyle said, "Oh, Benjamin Button, you sly dog."
Man,
said,
all y'all can kiss my.
Look, he said, "Handy, you don't look a day past 18. When's prom?"
That one got me.
That's what Kyle said. Look, Ben said, "Shout out to Ben. What's up, man? Everyone, if there's any footage of Anthony in his 20s, please post it. We have to see it."
I might have a picture in my thread with him.
Let's go. Well, I did. Did I hear that too?
Yeah.
Did
I think you sent me a picture of yourself when you were in your 20s, Handy.
Oh,
I could probably post that.
I know. It sounded like you said. No, it's not. No. I'm gonna roll it. I'm gonna roll
You'll
this
listen
back.
to it on the replay. Yeah.
I'm gonna roll this back. It sounded like you said, "I have a picture of Handy in my bed
with him." That's what it sounded like. Yeah.
I'm like,
do not start that rumor. No, that's not what I said.
I'm like, no. I'm like, oh girl.
I need to slow down.
I'm like, oh girl in the Jordan Peele movie. No. What's the housekeeper for Family Guy? No. But I mean, there's no videos of me in my 20s, man, because we used to do everything on VHS tape back then. That stuff is probably all turned to dust. But them stuff shows.
We all had to, if we had cameras with us, took a week to get the pictures back. Not like today, that it's like you take it with you.
It's out there.
Yeah. I mean, there's a video on Facebook right now of me stepping with the graduate chapter, and let me tell you, it's good, but it ain't like it ain't 20s good. It's 40 something good. They were like, look at them old cats up there getting it in. I was the oldest one on the step team.
we gonna find some footage. Kyle says, "Woo! Did it get cold in here?" Thought Matty Ice retired. Oh, but he's still with it. Look, Tina. You saw it. We know how old Rodgers is and Wilson and everything. Wilson, to his credit, at least brought them back. But to your point, who did they really play? Rodgers just didn't look good.
No.
Even with his
he hasn't looked good all year. Right. He was out with his Achilles injury. He hasn't looked good all year. Him and Garrett Wilson are finally, it seems like they're finally starting to get together and get things going. But I mean, the Jets defense is not what it was the year before. Mm-hmm. Their offense, they're playing with a couple of rookies. Mm-hmm. And on the Steelers side of it, they won the game, but did Wilson score any more points than Justin Fields has done? No, he didn't. So I read something interesting, and I'm wondering if it's a little. Yeah, I'm going to throw a little rumor thing on here. Let's think about this. What did the Steelers have to give up for their trade with the Bears for Justin Fields? What was it, like a 4th round? I think it was something like that. They got a conditional pick. depending on how many games he plays, that conditional pick goes up a step.
Oh yeah. Oh
because,
yeah.
I mean, Fields
Teams
didn't
do it.
play bad in that game at all.
Right.
So, and like I said in the episode last week, it's not as if the Steelers GM or somebody was saying, like, look, we're paying this guy $20 million. We want to get our money out of him, because Steelers aren't paying $20 million. We're paying him $20 million.
Right.
So if he never hit the field, it didn't cost the Steelers anything.
Right.
So there's a lot of questions I have about that. And he looked okay, and he did get better as the game went on, which is typical Russell Wilson. Even when he was playing for us, he'd get behind in the first half, and then he'd start making a push in the second. Yeah. He's not running like he used to. When he runs, he doesn't run the way he used to. He used to like run and then go for yardage and keep going. No, he's trying to get out.
You don't want that.
So he's not the same guy.
No. Again, have you seen his wife? He's not trying to be hurt and going home. I'm just saying.
He's not doing that.
Trying to keep it on the field.
So is he. Just a different field.
But look, but to your point, Tina, even it came out this week that Tomlin was basically alone in his decision to bring him in. You know, a lot of the team was saying Fields can still do it, whatever, but Tomlin wanted him in. And for me, I think this is kind of a perfect situation. The way I look at it, if you had Russ and he had a little bit of the injury, you want to make sure he gets healthy. This is why you bring in a Fields. Your defense can win you a game by themselves. So you bring in Fields to let him do just enough till you make sure your starter's ready. And then when you put Russ in, you do it and a perfect game to do it against the Jets, who only thing they have on offense right now, they have Devontae Adams, but he didn't do much. The only thing they really have on offense is Breece Hall. He was balling out in that game. Nobody else really did much of anything for him. So they looked past their prime, in my opinion. We'll see how they look next week. Maybe the rust will wear off, but
Rust. I like what you did there.
You did. They look like grumpy old men. I don't. Kyle said, "Quote of the day: Houston Texans will win the Super Bowl." Ooh. Ben said, 2 weeks in a row, Devontae Adams lost to the Steelers, but he wanted to play with his wifey, Karen Rodgers.
Jesus.
Oh, me. Kyle, you're out of here. Great episode. Thanks, Kyle. Appreciate you joining us, buddy. Oh, man. Hey, just end the talk a little trash and keep it moving. Yo, we got to go ahead. That's the coin toss for y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed that. We're gonna do a quick little breather, do a quick little clip, and then we're gonna come back on the other side with the corner office. We'll be right back.
Yeah.
But of course, I am never alone. I have all my peoples with me. Like, we are family. I got two sisters and a brother with me. Anyways.
Why I gotta be a brother.
So what?
Yeah, buddy. Shout out to the host of the show, one of the hosts, Nicholas Rosario. Mr. Nicholas, I want the smoke, Rosario, and Delilah Crespo, host of this and Diversity with Delilah. But look, ladies and gentlemen, we have got to move on down the list. And we got another topic for you today, another subject, the corner office by Tina Winter, who is going to talk to us a little bit about Deshaun Watson.
Okay, everyone saw it. Everyone saw it on the TV, saw it in the memes. Even the one that was debunked that showed that even though a lot of Browns fans were very unhappy with Deshaun Watson, they did not actually boo him off the field the way that one clip tried to show him. So what we're going to talk about is Deshaun Watson. So he's injured. He has an Achilles injury. He's out for the rest of the season. So the thing that's been talked about with a lot of people, and hopefully I can get these two guys to chime into a little bit, is whether or not the Browns can get out of the contract. If this injury is enough that they would be able to get out of the contract. The quick answer is no, it's not going to happen. They are going to have to keep him on the team. He's going to be around the next year. So this is what happens is he has numbers are crazy going back and forth. I've seen everything from 100 million to 180 million. So it all just depends on how you look at the contract and what you consider to be, because nobody really has his contract. They just know what has been reported to the NFL because that shows up in the cap space and that information that's on. So this is what is going on is he is a cap hit of $28 million for next year for 2024. And then there would be an additional cap space of 16.4 million next year. So those are the two numbers that would hit the Browns if they tried to trade him or anything like that. In addition, because he restructured his contract, this is where the numbers kind of get a little crazy here. And they're eye-opening. He restructured his contract again. So he pushed it. He got guaranteed money this year and next year and pushed the remainder of his contract out again. So if he is released or traded by the Browns before June 1st of 2025, he immediately gets $172 million from the Browns.
Good God.
If he's released or traded after June 1st, it's $118 million. Because it all has to do with when the cap, because remember, June 1st is when the next year of the football season starts.
Right.
So that's why it's less after June 1st, because you're now in 2025. It doesn't count on the cap. But all right. So as people has been noted, Sports Illustrated was able to get a copy of his contract. Now they're not releasing it. They're only talking about certain provisions that they've seen because nobody has his contract. It'll be interesting to find out if anybody looks into how they got his contract.
That was my question.
But what a lot of people have been talking about is that this injury could be something that the Browns could use to possibly get out of his contract. And they cannot, because his contract contains no clauses or anything in the contract that would help them be able to release him due to an injury or performance issue. So they can't get out because of his injury, which is going into what we talked about earlier with Tua. You can there is a medical retire. If you have a medical retire because the doctors say you can never play again, then if he's forced to retire, he gets all his money under the contract that's owed to him at that point.
Wow.
The same with Tua. If they force him to retire, that's what happens. If you decide yourself that you want to retire, then they're not required to pay out any remaining money, which is about $110 million. So the other thing that was brought up, and this is getting in more to, remember our discussion on personal conduct policy for NFL players? There's been some discussion that the Browns might try, or the NFL could try to get his contract voided because of some of his off the field issues that he's still having.
Oh yeah.
Well, he just settled last month with someone who sued him in Texas about a month before that. And they've entered into a settlement agreement, which has a non-disclosure agreement in it.
Okay.
Now, when we talked about the personal conduct policy, remember I said, like, the NFL does their own investigations. They can look into this stuff, and their investigations can go further than what a court of law can do. So they can talk to people that maybe police officers may not talk to or can't talk to or things like that. Well, the issue is, in order to possibly try and, because remember, he did get suspended 2 years ago for all of these allegations, and they claimed it was because he was violating the personal conduct policy. She's under a non-disclosure agreement. She's not going to get money if she talks.
Yeah.
She's not going to talk to anybody. Her lawyer isn't going to talk to her buddy. She's not going to talk to anybody. She's going to get a lot of money out of this. So the NFL and the Browns probably won't be able to come up with enough evidence to be able to have another suspension for it, because they're not going to be able to come up with it. So, I mean, this Sports Illustrated is claiming that there's provisions in his contract that would allow this to happen and they could get out of it. But I really think it would be a court case. Because you'd have to go to court in order. He would sue. Let's say they dump him and they say, we're not paying you because you violated the personal conduct policy. Now remember, under the personal conduct policy, which deals with like drugs and all of that, but routine multiple infractions, the penalties increase. So this would be the second time he would be brought under personal conduct policy. So it wouldn't be a year. It could be 2 years. It could be indefinite. They could do whatever they want. He would then sue in a court of law saying you violated my contract. Mm-hmm. And then they wouldn't be able to prove, they probably could not prove anything in court because he would say, you have no right to any of that. She is a non-disclosure with me. You don't get that information. And the NFL and the Browns would have to come up with a reason for how you could break that non-disclosure. So I don't know how anybody else feels about this. I'm not a Deshaun fan. I'm really not. I think where there's smoke, there's fire. But I think the Brownies are going to be in a world of hurt for a little while. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I've just got one question. Actually, I've got a couple because one normally leads to others.
That's how it happens.
This guy, remember the guy we talked about earlier that owns the Dolphins? The guy or the person or persons, that multiple entities that may own the Cleveland Browns. They got similar financial status, right?
No. The guy that owns the Miami Dolphins is much like, from what I understand, the Haslets took on a lot of personal debt to buy the Browns.
I see.
And so, because remember, this again goes to the ownership that we talked about. Remember, at the ownership, you can only have like 65 to 70% based on loans. You have to have an influx of cash. So in order to stand by the Browns, he took on a lot of personal debt on himself and on the company that he owns outside the Browns. So it's a little bit of a different situation. Well, the Browns literally cannot.
I will put it like this. They still got hella more money than us here got, is what I'm saying. Okay.
Yes.
And folks like that generally tend to have what you call them, barristers, attorneys at law.
Yeah.
And those folks know how to read, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the owners know how to read, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the people that proofread the stuff for the people know how to read, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And nobody saw none of this and said, this is not a good idea. Because remember when he was going to Cleveland, bad choice of words in this particular instance. Remember when he was on his way to Cleveland, there was rumors and rustlings of this sort of thing going on. Mm-hmm. And nobody said, we are backing ourselves into a corner here. This is a bad idea. Maybe we should keep the kid from Oklahoma and build a better team around him and pass on that dude.
I 100% thought that the Browns were making a big mistake by trading Baker when they did, because it looked like Baker was finally starting to gel and they were able to get players that were going to turn that team around. But here's the thing to also remember is at the time that all of this was going on, it was accusations. There were no charges.
I understand that. But like you said, and like you said, sometimes where there's smoke, there's fire. And I mean, I am not.
Haslett was trying to do whatever he could do, and it was a splashy trade. And
I don't know with the whole. I mean, they basically ran Dan Snyder out of Washington on a rail for a lot of things that he did. we see that a certain owner of another franchise, whose name we won't mention, but we know him very well because he does not allow himself to not have the spotlight.
Jerry Jones
has gotten very
say his name.
Who is definitely, to the best of knowledge, has scaled back a lot of the behaviors that were rustling around behind him.
Yeah.
But the point that I'm trying to make is this: that contract, I don't care how splashy a move you're trying to make. If it looked like, I almost said it again, if it looked like SOS and it smelled like SOS, then it's SOS, and you shouldn't eat it because it's gonna give you dysentery.
Well,
and then you can make your own SOS.
I agree. And when it comes to the Browns did this to themselves. So this part, I'm kind of like, y'all knew what you were doing. You heard the allegations. I agree, like with you, where there's smoke, there's fire. And I agree that every time you start talking, this cat's gonna do his best to get in front of the camera. But my only point, and I talked to you about this before, is football is one thing, off the field is another. What the Browns, they can't do anything about that. Now, to that first point that you made about, what we may or may not heard from the fans, I get it. They're upset. They wanted this guy to be great and lead them to the greatness, but I don't think you need to be blaming him. His issue, you can blame him. Let me take that back. You can definitely blame him, but you can't be happy or delight in his demise. That's what I'll say. On the field. Off the field, hey, to each his own. Karma, like our guy Nick said to me this morning, karma is a B. Karma's going to take its course. It's going to do what it does. But if he gets hurt on the field and his livelihood, his heart, this is what he loves, taken away, come on, Browns. Y'all got to be better than that. Y'all got to be better than that.
Fans are going to get upset, and they're going to boo when they see their team not doing well. And as someone who has friends that's in Cleveland, and the Browns fans, that dog pound, they're serious. They don't take things very well, and they will completely go off the rails. I mean, come on, this is the crew that made it so all beer bottles have to be plastic in the NFL. Because they were throwing them on the field.
I could have used some of them in Texas this past weekend. I said that out loud.
Yeah. And it happened did you hear it? It also happened in the Jets. The Jets fans started throwing garbage on the field. And so and I heard about what they're doing in Texas is crazy. Mm-hmm. Did you guys hear about that? Well, not only did they get fined, the Texas, I don't know, the association, whoever it is going through the video footage, finding the people that were throwing the stuff on the field and telling them that their pass for the really Chewy.
They're revoking their tickets.
They're revoking their ticket for the rest of the year and saying that next year it would have to be they would be looking into whether they would get their pass back. Ooh. Yes, I have my own orange menace.
Yeah, because calling, not to get off the subject at hand, but calling it for what it is. You talking about potentially injuring other persons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Persons, you could throw a bottle and throw a bottle and it doesn't get where it's going, but you hit somebody in row 2 and give them a nice little gash or something like that. Now the stadium and you know how people are. People will sue everybody. They'll file a lawsuit and name everybody in it as long as somebody somewhere has got some money to spend. And who's got more money in that whole scenario than say the Southeastern Conference?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And to that point, nowadays fans they feel so much closer to the players. They feel so much closer to the teams because of social media, because of all the all-inclusive activities that the players meet the fans and the autographs and all that stuff, and fantasy football and betting and all that stuff. But you got to remember, these are athletes. These are grown men out here doing a job. I don't care how mad you get. I don't care. If I get mad at somebody that's not doing what I want to do on a TV show or this, that, I can't throw stuff at them. There's a way to act. There's a way to behave in football and all that stuff. And we got to get to this point where we stop thinking that these players are at our disposal. These players they're doing our will. No, we are fans. Okay, we're just fans of this squad. I don't care how much he makes. Whatever he did to get to his position, he earned that. I didn't do that. I can't do it. So it's not my job to sit here just because I pay a ticket to come see you play. It's not my job or right or responsibility to throw stuff at them or act a fool because my team lost or whatever. I got a serious issue with that, and it's a serious problem. We've seen it a lot in basketball. Those in the NBA, those fans, especially, I thought it was just the NBA, but even in the WNBA, those fans that come to those games, if they have a player they like, if they have somebody on the other team they don't like, they will say the most heinous things and just awful, talk about family and all this nonsense. And then they get so confused when these players come at them. And they come out, I don't know.
Who was that a couple of years ago where the player went all the way up in the stands?
Right. But even 2 weeks ago, the Alabama-Tennessee game, didn't that Bama player push one of the fans or something like that? Like that came rushing on the field. I don't know if it was at that game, but it was one of them where one of the major teams got upset. All the fans rushed the field, and one of the players was walking by, and the guy came up and he just pushed him out of the way. I don't care if I understand gloating and getting, we beat you, blah, blah, blah. But these people are still people. Mm-hmm. You take the pads and all that crap off, they're still human beings living everyday life. So if they react, I'm sorry for you, and you don't have the right to act any type of way. What they're doing off the field, I get, and that they'll be judged for that in this situation in a court of law. But if a man gets hurt or whatever, they lose a game, they don't play up to the standard that you want them to, well, that's on them. Like it's not your responsibility, you don't have the ability to go out and do those things. I have a serious problem with that.
Yeah.
So
I think, and I don't know if you mentioned this or not, but Kirby Smart made reference to it. He said this is a very dangerous precedent that has been set.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and I think that's exactly why the NCAA came down as hard as they did on Texas with the fine. Yeah. Because if they let it go without nothing happening and making the school responsible for it, then it was just going to go from the next one to the next one to the next one, which This is the thing that I find very, very funny is the SEC fans kind of consider themselves to be a little bit better than everybody else because they'll come
do they do that?
All Southern hospitality.
Really?
I'm right here, guys.
Do they really do that? I didn't know that, Tina. Oh my God. Did they think it just means more and everybody else can't play their type of sorry. Yeah.
I mean, there was no problem with Georgia. Georgia didn't do anything wrong. I just think it's funny that SEC.
There's no problem with Georgia. I've seen Georgia do some things. You know what? This is not the college show.
We won't get too far in that. But I just think it's funny that they hold themselves with this like Southern mentality and we're better than everybody else and throwing garbage on
ladies and gentlemen, Blanche Elizabeth Devereaux.
I'm about to say, yeah. I love it. Oh man. Well, look, Tina, is that you good? Is that it? The corner office?
Yeah, that was it.
All right, there you go. Yo, shout out to Tina in the corner office. Deshaun Watson still making money, and it looks like the Browns are going to continue to have to pay him. But look, hey, perfect segue. We ended talking about college, and now let's go to our college guru. Got to shout out my guy, Anthony Handy, as he does his rookie spotlight.
Hey gang, how y'all doing? It's your guy, Mr. Fingers, coming to you live from the 405 where the wind comes whipping down the plane. Today's player that I'm going to talk to you about is a guy that I got to see play for a goodly amount of his college career because he played some of his college football at the University of Georgia. Oh God, wait, that's another SEC school. Do we think we're better than everybody else? I don't know. My gosh, I don't think we do. But that's just me talking. That I'm not gonna let that go. That's coming out in the show on Monday. Watch what I tell you. Anyway, this young man comes to us by way of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, home of one of my favorite groups, Motown Philly, back again. Doom, 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 da, da. Anyway, the home of the Liberty Bell, Benjamin Franklin, Rocky Balboa, who, by the way, was one of the greatest boxers to ever come out of Pennsylvania. You know what I mean? Because he hits real hard. And also the Liberty Bell, ladies and gentlemen, comes from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. This young man attended a high school with a very interesting concept. It's called the Imhotep Institute Charter High School in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. More on that. That might be a subject. That might be its own segment somewhere later. Sean, you and I and Tina are going to talk about this later. He actually was a 3-star recruit, and he wound up committing to play college football at West Virginia University. Well, Anthony, who are you talking about? I'm talking about Tyke Smith. You don't know? I knew. Tina knew. Sean, did you know? I knew that they knew that I knew that they knew that I was talking about Tyke Smith. And this young man, let me tell you about this young man. What did he do when he got to West Virginia University? As a true freshman, he wound up finishing up his first season with 53 tackles, a sack, and 2 interceptions. Now, you might say, not bad for a freshman. Well, as a result, he was named to the freshman All-American team. Then what wound up happening the following year, he followed that up with 2 interceptions. So he doubled up and got 60, quick remix, 61 tackles and 2 interceptions, and he got named an All-American again. And then he decided to enter the transfer portal, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is where Tyke Smith's life changed. It was at that moment that he saw a bright light shining from the southeast, just a little bit shy of Atlanta, somewhere where it was rumored that a woman named Blanche Devereaux was known to live. Anyway, he wound up transferring to none other than Go Dogs, the University of Georgia. He wound up getting an opportunity to play. So he transferred over to the University of Georgia as they were building that team that wound up making the run that ended the 41-year playoff, the 41-year championship drought. He announced his intentions to attend the University of Georgia. He didn't play much that year because he hurt his knee. But the following season, he came through to secure a victory. He made a couple of very, very key plays there to save the victory against Missouri's 26-22. That tells me right there that we were playing in Missouri. And Sean, you and I always talk about how Georgia struggles a little bit when they play Missouri at home. I don't know what it is, but I digress. We're talking about Tyke Smith, who I knew that you knew, that y'all knew, that I knew, and Tina knew that we were talking about, because he came from West Virginia by way of Pennsylvania, West Philadelphia, born and raised. On the playground is where he spent most of his days. And then in the summertime, sometimes he smoked some Purple Haze, but when he played football at Georgia, he liked to eat barbecue lace. That's a bar. We're gonna write that down. So anyway, he wound up having a great career at the University of Georgia. He wound up being a member of the 2021 championship team, even though he played sparingly due to an injury. He wound up being a member of the 2022 national championship team, and also the 2023 team that wound up making the run all the way to the SEC championship for a potential spot at getting into a 3rd consecutive CFP. But of course, we know how that went. They fell short. They fell short, and then they I forgot what it was they did. They played in some bowl game, and there was some team said that they should be the national champions, and they got their butts whipped. But anyway, we'll talk about them later on another time. I'll have to find one of their alumni to talk about for the Rookie of the Week. But he decided to declare for the 2024 NFL Draft after finishing his season with 70 total tackles, 4 interceptions, and 2 sacks. So he's not really much of an interception guy. But again, Tyke Smith from the University of Georgia. This is the thing I like about this kid. He's not really big. Okay, he's only 5'10". He's 202. He's a guy that me at the bad back that I dealt with in the break room at my job could probably walk up to and just push over. However, he's not a blazing shooter. He runs a 4.40. What he can do, and I'm not filming this guy. What this kid does is he runs when he's defending the receiver. He runs about the first 5 steps of the route receiver with his eyes in the backfield looking, and he already knows where the ball is going. A lot of times when he make plays on the ball, he doesn't make a lot of interceptions, but he does do a lot of breakups because he already can tell, okay, we're 5 paces in. The quarterback has been looking him down. If he doesn't find anything better, he's coming back this way. And be damned if I watched about a 20-minute video, and be damned if he wasn't right on the money. If it wasn't an interception, it was a breakup. And he went in the draft. He got picked up by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Well, we can't all be perfect. But so far, pew, pew, shots fired. Pew, pew, everybody going, pew, pew, everybody going, yeah, anyway, wow.
Remember, pew-pews aren't allowed anymore in the NFL.
Yeah, right.
I ain't playing in the NFL, and the NFL they ain't paying my check. I don't have the answer to the NFL. I don't recall having Jim Goodell, Roger McAfee, or whoever he is, come into my doorstep and asking me a damn thing about what I was going to say on this podcast tonight. So anyway, Lord have mercy, Jesus. So far this season, he has registered 33 tackles, 2 forced fumbles. I'm done. Taki Smith from the University of Georgia and Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's a good player. He's a really good player. Take my word for it.
Oh man! Wait, man, ladies and gentlemen, we gotta take a break. Oh my God! All right, we'll be right back after this.
That's a W. Let's eat one. Let's eat one. That's a W. How many people want to eat a W tonight?
Why?
But they are who we thought they were.
Mr. McDowell.
What is it?
Sir, I was wondering if you happened to catch the professional football contest on television last night.
I didn't.
Oh, it was most exhilarating. The Giants of New York took on the Packers of Green Bay, and in the end, the Giants won by kicking an oblong ball made of pigskin to a big H. It was a most ripping victory.
Son, I'm only going to tell you this once.
Yes.
If you want to continue working here, stay off the drugs.
Yes.
Just keep the laughs coming, ladies and gentlemen. Look,
I just got one question. What the hell was I mopping? I just caught nothing but carpet in my house except for the kitchen.
I like to give. Was that your wife in the background that just walked by and said, "That's just Anthony's doing his thing"?
I don't know who that was that walked by. I forgot.
Nobody said anything. They just let him go. Here we go.
The only rooms in my house that are not carpeted is the kitchen and the bathrooms. Everything else has got carpet in it. So what the fuck was I mopping? Ooh.
It didn't matter. No one saw it. We're gonna have Handy do his behind the scenes talk. Like,
good gracious.
You can't tell, but there was actually carpet. I was mopping the carpet today.
But you can hear it. Like if you listen, you can hear it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Roundtable. We appreciate y'all being here with us.
AKA Grown Folks Television, if you haven't heard.
It's 10 o'clock Eastern. So for those,
do you know where your children
bedtime?
Do you know where your children are?
Yo,
God,
real quick.
we're old enough to remember that back in the day. It's like it literally would come on TV. It's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your children are?
Yep. Yo,
The
real quick.
off-air sound.
Right. Real quick, let's talk about it. Team recap for this week. I'll shoot first. Washington got the dub, but we did what we were supposed to do, and that's kind of where I wanted to use this clip where
But they are who we thought they were.
the Panthers are who we thought they were. They're
Panthers are bad.
And we did what we had to do. Even though we lost, at least for that game, Jaden Daniels had a apparent rib injury. All x-rays are clear. Everybody's saying he's fine.
I know you was holding your breath, though.
Bro, I was watching it like this. And my mom was like, you need to stop, Sean. You take this stuff too seriously. I was like, this is RG3 all over again. I'm not taking anything too seriously. I knew this was gonna happen. I was not.
You were so triggered.
Mariota in. I was like, what? I just told this man that Mariota was gonna be it, and it had to be like, oh no. And then
you know, I saw that and I had a good chuckle. I was like, I
was like, no. But thankfully, the Panthers are just that bad. Mariota balled out. Our defense played amazing. Right? We did everything we needed to do against the Panthers. So 5-2, head of the division. Everything is cool like that. But we got a big time matchup against the Bears this Sunday coming up. So shout out to Delilah and Nick. We will be talking to them. Handy, do you want to briefly talk about that game, or do you want to just pass it to Tina?
I'm gonna say something, but first, Chewy seriously wants a role in the show today.
Does, yeah, right.
You know that video where the one dude is just like sitting vibing on his guitar, and then the cat is in the forefront just going.
Right?
That's what I think about every time.
Chewy chilling.
I keep waiting for Chewy to be like, yo.
There he is, right there.
What's up, Chewy?
Chewy.
Chewy is officially the Chewy and Delilah's bird are officially the two animal mascots. So good.
He's the vocal one. This is the one who I want camera time.
Yes, he just want camera time. Let me walk in front of the camera.
Nah, Chewy is kind of like that dude in the Old Spice commercial. Ladies, look at your man. Now look at me. Now look at your man. Now look back at me. I'm riding a horse shirtless across the desert. Why? Because they paid me a bunch of money to do so. Anyway, the Atlanta Falcons. Well, it didn't go as well as I would have liked for it to. But as I said before, I don't know if I said this before or after we came on the air. I am happy with what the Falcons have produced this year. I had my misgivings about Kirk, but Kirk is doing the doggone thing. Mm-hmm. The receivers are happy. They got somebody that can actually get the ball to them. I mean, you know what? All things considered, I'm glad Mariota balled out for y'all, man. I mean, I think he's one of those guys that flourishes better knowing that the onus of the season is not on his back. But yeah, I'll come in and fix a busted pipe, but don't ask me to run all your plumbing through the house because you might be in trouble. He's that kind of guy.
You know what's funny though? In the post-game press conference, they said to him, "Oh, so do you think you're going to be in next week?" And he said, "Jaden Daniels is incredible. He's amazing." And then we're hoping for his health. I was like, "Yes, that is exactly what I'm going to hear you say."
So as far as with Geno Smith is concerned, I'm happy for Geno Smith because I kind of got the impression a lot of teams passed on Geno. I don't know if it was just he wasn't what they were looking for in a quarterback. Or they thought he wasn't what they were looking for. And look at what that young man is doing out there in Seattle. I mean, he might be old man by NFL standards by age, but to me, he's still a kid. Look what that young man is doing out there in Seattle. So I'm happy for him too. So I meant to look and see who we're playing next week because I don't think Handy Bowl is till the first weekend in November.
You guys got Tampa.
Oh, we got Tampa coming up this week, and then we play the Cowboys the week after. So yeah, and we got Tampa in Tampa, so that would be nice for us to go down there and leave Raymond James with a W. See if we can keep the cannon silent, But we'll see. Baker's a baller. I'm sure he's cooking up something.
Just he might run out in the middle of the field and plant the flag like he used to down the road in Norman. Who knows? But I'm happy for what the Falcons have done. So I mean, we can't win them all, and honestly, I don't hold any hate in my heart for the Seahawks. Now, if it had been somebody like the Saints, I might be a little salty about it. But like I said, the Saints are not marching in this season, as it has said. It says right at the bottom of the church bulletin, no Saints marching during the collection. Even the ushers are not going to march either. You know how the ushers in the black church march during the collection? Yeah, do that. So I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. I'm looking for a bounce back game this week.
Oh yeah, I can dig it. And for a team that did shut down Tampa, the Denver Broncos, and you also shut down the Saints. How was that? Was it the revenge game, Sean Payton?
Yeah, well, the return.
Yeah.
Yeah, he never really called it a revenge game, but it was. I mean, come on, you're going in. You had to sit there. Drew Brees is getting inducted into their Hall of Fame on the very day.
Oh yeah,
Sean Payton's coming back.
Oh yeah,
the Saints.
He knew what he was
doing.
There
was a little twisting of the knife going on.
Oh yeah,
we won the game. It didn't look pretty. Sorry, Nicole, your guys were dropping like flies during the game. Like at one point, I think Matthews out and another guys out and Kool-Aid's the only starting cornerback left, and you're bringing in your third stringer, which I do have to say, their third string quarterback that they brought in, I forget what his name is now, but he did well in the game. I mean, the Broncos are 4-3. We have our problems, but I'm hoping that this game allowed us to start to fix maybe some of those issues. We finally got our running game going, and I'm hoping we can continue with that against the Panthers, because we're going to need to take advantage of a few situations and stuff. And because after that, it's a rough next 3 weeks. We have the Ravens, the Chiefs, and then the Falcons.
Oof.
Wow.
After that, it's the Raiders, the Broncos, the Colts, the Chargers, Bengals at that point, and then we play the Chiefs in our last game. But yeah, the 3 games after this week, it's gonna be yikes.
Well, at least when you play the Raiders, don't one of your two boyfriends coach for the Raiders?
No.
Who?
I call him TSG, tight shirt gang.
You talking about DeMarco?
No, D'Amico is one of.
D'Amico is with the Texans.
Right. No, but it was another one. And who's the coach? No, I'm thinking about Oakland.
That's Antonio Pierce.
That's Antonio Pierce. He's not the tight shirt gang. You're thinking about Sean McVay. The Rams head coach.
I didn't say the Rams. I said the Raiders.
I know, but the Raiders coach doesn't belong to that gang.
Okay, my bad. I know.
She knows his name.
I know his name. I remember his name. I just remember his name.
I know where my eye candy is, Handy.
Trade.
And I would never, ever drool over somebody from the Raiders. That's just buried deep down inside me. Even Garoppolo, I was always like,
The Raiders.
And girls are drooling. Like, no. But yeah. Yeah, it's the Ravens. I mean, Baker.
It can be done.
It can be done. I mean, Baker almost won that game in the end. So it can be done. We'll see. Chiefs are going to be really hard. I mean, Patrick Mahomes isn't nearly putting up numbers he should, and he's still winning because that defense is really, really good.
And like it really almost makes you just want to give up. You just watch him. It's like he's not even trying, and he's still winning. It's like watching. This is the explanation that I gave of the Chiefs and how they've played in the Matrix Part 2 at the very beginning, where
Neo goes to check out the disturbance at the front door, and it's an agent. And they're fighting, and Neo's fighting him off with one hand, and the other one's tucked behind this. And he goes, at one point, he goes, upgrades. That's Patrick Mahomes. That's Patrick Mahomes playing right now with the Chiefs. It's like, we're playing on easy mode right now. Wait till you guys see us turn it on.
Yeah. Their defense is just killer. That's just Spags has got that defense going, and this like hurts me and my soul to say this stuff. So the Chiefs, it's going to go through the Chiefs again. So AFC is going through the Chiefs. So
unfortunately, that's what it is. Hopefully they'll get derailed before their three-peat, but at this point, who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was our team recap. And hey, look, we appreciate you guys being here with us, joining us on this day. We are at the end of our show, but before we end it, we have to do our one last thought. And in the same spirit of Nick, who gives a random question, I always bring my questions closer to football. So I'm going to bring this to you for one last thought. Tell me why you love this game of football. Tina, I'll let you go first.
Because everything can change on 1 second, one play, one drive. You never know how the thing. It could be a tip of a finger, and the whole game changes. I mean, we talked about it earlier when we were kind of talking like Eli Manning winning the game because his receiver was able to catch the ball against his helmet, and they beat the Patriots. Like it's that kind of stuff. You never know what's going to happen. You don't know which team is going to put it together. It's about matchups. But it's also stories of people coming from lower beginnings and pushing their way through and getting up to the top and all of this stuff. And it's just fun. It's fun and just dramatic. And everybody just gets so into it. So that's.
I can dig it. Handy, what you got, man?
Tina, you hit that thing right on the head. Like it's especially and I'm gonna get to my answer in a second, but as the military likes to say, to piggyback on what Tina said, just there's so many moments during the Super Bowl where you have people that have these, and then you might not ever hear from them again. Like, where's David Tyree right now? You know what I'm saying? Your boy that played for your boys that had
Timmy Smith,
who still holds the rushing record in the Super Bowl, and never was able to recreate that again.
Nope.
You also had some moments like, unfortunately, like a certain coach deciding not to give his star running back a shot at having a rushing touchdown in a Super Bowl and decided to instead give it to his very large defensive lineman and let him score the touchdown because it was the big thing of the season. But as far as football,
they sold a lot of sweatshirts.
Fridge,
myself included.
Rest in peace, Walter.
The thing with football is there's just something about it. I've played other sports. I played organized sports at some point. I played baseball. I played a little basketball. I played football. I ran track. Of all the sports, there's nothing, I mean nothing, for me that gave me the adrenaline rush like football. And that even includes playing pickup ball, like at the Turkey Bowl. Being able to go out with some of my karaoke people and being like the oldest dude on the field and still juking people and like, I still got it. You know what I mean? It's just, there's something about it. And then on top of that, it goes by so quickly. I was explaining that to the missus the other day. I said, baseball starts in March. It's October. Like since the Super Bowl, baseball started and hasn't ended, and we're into a new football season. That's how long baseball is. Same thing with hockey. Basketball's kicking off right now, and it won't end until the summer. I said, we only get football for like 4 or 5 short months, and that's it. Done. And so there's so much going on, and especially this season, more so in college than football this year. Like there's something amazing going on every week. Somebody who wasn't supposed to beat somebody jumps up and knocks somebody. And if there have been so many David versus Goliath moments this year in college football, it's been unreal. I know we're talking pro football, but still, it's football. It's football.
Football. I said football. Yeah, football all over.
Yeah, we just had these. We've had so many of these. Oh my God, Vanderbilt just beat Alabama. Oh my God, Tennessee beat Alabama. Oh my God, Georgia, what are you doing? You losing to Alabama? You know, like it's been all of that.
You beating Notre Dame?
Yes, and hearing Tina leave me messages on my phone that make me like about to have me in the parking lot for getting to see myself. You know, and most of all, above else, it's us getting together every week to talk about these things and laugh and joke. It matters. It does not matter what is going on in our individual collective worlds right now. I mean, we all, you know, I've talked with both of you off camera about stuff that's happened in life outside of this. We come on here, it's all about just talking, enjoying each other's company, and talking about a game we love, and occasionally getting to see Tina do the thingy.
The puka. Gotcha again.
Never fails. Never fails.
The puka's always gonna get him.
I just drank sour cream. Crazy. Anyway, and that's the thing that I love about it, because I don't think anything brings any folks together in terms of sports more than football. I mean, it can be kind of divisive too, but we won't talk about that part. But out of all the sports, something about football. Folks don't get together and have cookouts for basketball games.
Right.
Folks don't have, you know, game day celebrations for baseball. But football tailgating, nothing like it. And I don't think I'd trade a single sport for it. And I'm done, because I could talk for hours. And so could the rest of y'all. But Sean want to say something too, so I'm gonna let him say his piece.
Well, I mean, honestly, you guys hit it on the head. You guys hit the nail on the head. For me, it's always been the great equalizer. I love it. I'm a big history buff, so I love the history of the game. I love seeing the underdog, seeing how it brought people from all different walks of life together. And to your point, Andy, it brought people like us, all different walks of life in different states, man, female, black, white, all together, because we just love this game. It's poetry in motion. It's, you know, the underdog, the David and Goliath, like you said. It's the random no-name quarterback, Diego Pavia for Vanderbilt, not getting recruited out of college, not going to even the crappy team that he wanted to go to because he lived in the state, didn't even want him, so he had to go to the rival. And then now he gets his Vanderbilt and now gets the opportunity to do what he's doing. It's Doug Williams being, you know, a backup, being the 48th worst paid quarterback in the league at the time, and leads his team to a Super Bowl win on January 31st, 1988. Yeah. Unfortunately, again, I'm sorry.
Not you calling the whole date.
Oh, that's a day that lives in infamy. And me, that is one of the days that sticks in my mind.
He brings up beating John Elway every time I see him in the Super Bowl.
You know why? You know why? Pain. Anytime in that game they talked about Doug, he is putting up numbers, and they still said, but if there's anybody that can bring this team back, it's John Elway and the Broncos.
What John Elway has to do is, of course, he's got to run across the day, and then what we got to do is
just do a bit of a helicopter in the field and get the ball in the end zone.
Hey,
yeah,
he got his ring. I'm glad.
But we didn't do it against Doug Williams, but we did do it against Brett Favre.
Yeah.
So
yes, you're here to that. But I mean,
and then again against Atlanta.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, sorry about that. But no, I mean, like you said, for me, it you talked about it, Handy, that the season isn't as long if you don't count the off season, but it's just there's nothing like it. I mean, and a part of that goes with the time of the year and how, the leaves start to turn and the weather starts to get colder and you bundle up and you just go into the stands. The fans that can be in there in the stands with you might be politically 100% different, culturally 100% different. They might be the total opposite of you, but on that day, for those 3 or 4 hours, you guys are best buddies because of what you love, because of the game you love. Even the trash.
Drinking beer and smacking high fives.
Come on now. Even the rivalries. Eating the food, yeah, even the rivalries. Janae is one of my best friends in the entire world, but damn if we don't go at each other off Washington and Dallas. And I mean, I wouldn't want it any other way. I love what football does. It brings so much out of people, brings people together. It's a great equalizer. And LTF, Zagnif, Mile High Minute, all of these shows we've been able to create talking about this. I can create shows all day long because if it was up to me, and you guys know this, I wouldn't stop. I would just be talking football every day, all day, period. You don't have to pay me. I just love this game. I already do it, right?
Get an unpaid internship at ESPN.
But see, that's the thing. I don't want to do it there. I want to do it where I can talk to my people and we can sit here and geek and joke and do all this crap. We can tell our real opinions and then talk about handy mopping carpets and whatnot. I love this. I love it, but I love what it does. I love what football is able to do and bring us together. So that's it for me. I love this game. I love y'all and talking about it and everything about it and how it brings people together. So yeah, that's my thing, man. That's my thing. So look, ladies and gentlemen, I first and foremost want to appreciate the crew of the Roundtable for allowing me to come on here and help y'all, join y'all, talk football with y'all, doing what we do, baby, and laugh with y'all.
This was very exhilarating. I am most happy that you had me join you today. The next time that we come, I will make my famous jollof rice.
Yes. Yes, and Bose does make great equalizers as well. Listen, for my guy, the Coming to America, Mr. Anthony Handy, for my girl
Infinity, huh?
and host of Mile High Minute, Tina Winter and Chewy, because we know Chewy got airtime as well. It's your boy, Sean Spencer. Stay tuned for all the great stuff we got coming. Washington Football Weekly is tomorrow. And Let's Talk Football. Ladies Takeover is Thursday. Take advantage of it. A lot of football. There's, I think, college game on tonight and a couple this coming week. So, hey, enjoy yourself. We appreciate y'all being here with us, but we're going to let you go. For my guys, it's me. And shout out to Nick and Delilah. We'll see y'all next time. Peace.
Wait a minute. Hold on. We got it. Here we go. Shout out to Delilah. We can't do it without saying, what's that bird? The bird say, beep. Okay, now we done. Now we can go.
Oh my God! Hey, we'll see y'all next time. Peace, people.
Contavious Street, 2024 for a 2024 6th rounder. If you play 6 games, or it's a conditional 7th round pick in 2025. How do you feel about this, Andy? Beefing up that defensive line.
I thought Contavious Street was a good place to go get some good barbacoa. I didn't realize that was a real person.
Oh man, I love it.